What's going on, Falcon fans? It's your boy Rakundo coming back at you with another video. So definitely recapping game 2 of the Atlanta Falcons versus the Cincinnati Bengals on Friday in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and what we've seen, good and bad, from these Atlanta Falcons. Still tuning up for game 1 against the Carolina Panthers. A sloppy game to say the least. 13 penalties for 102 yards. Definitely things that the coaches can coach on this upcoming week, making sure that these guys are ready to go for that week 1 matchup against the Carolina Panthers. And we have guys still trying, to compete and make the back end of this roster. So a lot of things that we can talk about from this game. The good, and like I said, and the ugly. Definitely we're going to talk about that today. So guys, with that being said, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about, these Atlanta Falcons. So guys, that preseason game, all the excitement, seeing our ones out there, I thought for the most part, those guys lived up to the hype. If you take away the penalties, you definitely got to see what you want to see from our starting offense and our starting defense. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball first. Our quarterback, going into his second year, Desmond Ridder, definitely showed command of the offense. He was able to distribute the ball to mostly all his playmakers, even when he got behind the chains on big downs. Because of penalties, he would stay poised and he made plays to continue to move the ball. I think it was at least 4 penalties on that first drive, but the Atlanta Falcons was still able to advance to the red zone, which in the end was stalled by interception. You can look at the interception either way you want. You can look at it as a great play by the defender, or like a lot of us Falcons fans seen, it was a pass interference by the defender. Either way, Desmond Ridder operation was good. Definitely showed command. 7-9 in that drive for 80 yards. Definitely some things he can work on. Was not perfect, but those are things you want to see. Getting the ball to your guys where they can make plays. Great back shoulder throw to Drake London on the sideline on the third down. Just to show you, make plays when they're really needed. So definitely liked what I saw from the offense from our young quarterback Desmond Ridder. Mac Hollins got involved. He had 2 receptions. Drake London had 2 receptions. Kyle Pitts, was able to flash where we needed him. Big play on a bootleg out, from Desmond Ridder. And also, last but not least, we was able to see our young stud running back Bijan Robinson. The things he was able to do, 4 carries for 20 yards, had a good reception on a screen play down in the red zone. First play could have definitely went house if he got one more block on the backside by defensive back. So really got to see all the things that we want to see from this offensive standpoint. Can Desmond Ridder command offense like we wanted him to? What our receivers going to look like? We saw Mac Hollins make plays. We saw Drake London make plays. Was Kyle Pitts going to be back to form like he's rounding into that? Hopefully he's going to be ready for week 2. And some guys we did not even get to see. Guys like Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier. It's a quiet night, but we know he's capable of. So from overall offensive standpoint, I thought everything was good except for all the penalties that really at the end I thought hurt the Atlanta Falcons. I thought some of those penalties did not get called. Definitely could have punched it in for 6. Interesting, Chris Lindstrom had 2 penalties on that drive. Really uncharacteristic of him. But the referees themselves are in preseason form as well. So hopefully they can knock off the rest and get ready for regular season, because that was a sloppy game to watch, especially from offense standpoint for our Atlanta Falcons. If you move over to the defensive side of the ball, which a lot of us are definitely excited to see that front four. Ron Nielsen had a lot of rotation back, in and out with the defensive front, so you did not get to see those guys get a whole lot of snaps, going out together, which is going to be interesting to see how he roll those guys out when the season start, when they implement a game plan. They're going up against different opponents, but overall, I thought guys flash. Jesse Bates flash, Calais Campbell flash. D'Arthur had a good, defense on a deep ball in the red zone. Caden Ellis had a good play. I thought overall our defense was solid. Definitely going to be able, want to be able to see those guys longer and more, and when they start to implement a game plan. So, guys that stood out in the preseason game that you definitely want to have questions about, that we had maybe when we was going into this game. Guys like Matthew Bergeron, I thought he held up really well at left guard position at his first start. They all expected him to be the starter. Of course, it made it easier with Matt Hennessy going down. So Matthew Bergeron, I definitely give him a B plus the way he played his first game ever in the NFL, even though it was a preseason game. But he was going up against a good, solid defensive front for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I thought he held his own. Other guys you definitely like to see on the defensive side of the ball, Breon Border names continue to come up each week. DeMarco Helms, another interception, two weeks in a row. Definitely think he's trying to solidify himself on this 53-man roster. Both of those rookies really stood out, along with Breon Borders. I thought all the receivers for the Atlanta Falcons played well. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside played well. Josh Ali played well. Xavier Malone played well. So that competition is still, going as it should. That swing tackle position, I still think is up in the air. I don't think anybody made leeways to put their name and saying that I'm going to be the guy. I definitely can see the Atlanta Falcons going out and get a veteran for that swing tackle position, which is interesting because they had Jermaine Defetti here and they decided to let him walk. So we'll see how that pans out for that swing tackle position. Over in all, guys, I thought it was a solid preseason game for the Atlanta Falcons. If you take away the 13 penalties for 102 yards, coming away with a tie. I thought Younghoe Koo had a big bounce back with two big field goals. One was in pressure point, to tie the game, to send it as a, not overtime in the preseason, but to tie the game up in the end. Regulation was really good. So, good bounce back from Younghoe Koo. But that's why we play preseason, guys. Anticipate the guys to maybe get a little bit more run this upcoming Thursday, because of the sloppiness, because of the not being able to just concentrate like they need to going into a game. Too many mental errors, too many holding, false starts, things that you can definitely control as an offense. Or one of the teams that was the least penalized teams last season with these Atlanta Falcons. So pretty sure things that definitely can be coached up on, things that definitely can be fixed. People like Christian Lindstrom only had one penalty all season last year, ended up with two in this preseason game, which is really interesting. But overall, guys, really like what I saw from these Atlanta Falcons. Definitely want to hear from you guys. What you thought. Did you think Desmond Ridder did the things he needed to do with the ball? Did you think Kyle Pitts looked like he's ready to go? What you thought about our phenom running back Bijan Robinson, and our defense overall. What you think about those guys? Where the Atlanta Falcons invested the most on this off season. So guys, that's all I have today. Let me know what you think about Game 2 of the preseason and your excitement for Game 3, and the breakdown of the last 53-man roster of 2023 and the 16-man practice squad. So guys, this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.